I'm Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch network. One of the things I love so much about this pro-democracy community is that this Midas Touch network has been built by you. And it's been built by you because the large media networks gaslight us. We know all of the disinformation injected by MAGA Republicans and Trump cultists and right-wing disinformation echo chambers like Fox, yet large media networks that aren't necessarily defined as what I just stated always try to both sides the issues. And we now recognize that there's this existential threat here. I mean, it is something that we must always recognize that right here in the United States, we basically have Russian-style propaganda, pro-Putin propaganda perpetuated by a major American political party, the MAGA Republican Party, and a propagandist network and a web of networks with Fox, OAN, Newsmax, and all these other right-wing extremist networks that are designed to destroy our democracy. There's no way around it. And let me just give you a perfect example of how the propaganda works. So President Biden makes a historic visit to Kyiv. He stands shoulder to shoulder with President Zelensky. The image of President Biden walking past the wall of remembrance. You have the air sirens going off in Ukraine because Russia sent a fighter jet to try to make sure the air sirens go off to scare Biden as he's walking. Biden's undeterred. Biden gives an incredible speech about democracy in Ukraine, and then an even bigger speech about the importance of democracy and freedom in Warsaw, Poland. Under any other time in the history of the United States, whether it was presidents I disagree with, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down the wall, Ronald Reagan, whether it's George H.W. Bush, whether it's people I tend to agree with more, like Bill Clinton or Obama, or even, George W. Bush. We rally around our leaders. We rally around our commander-in-chief. And that image of Biden looking so strong, looking what an American leader should look like and should do, is something that posed an existential threat to the right-wing echo chamber, to MAGA Republicans. And rather than unite around a leader, remember why Fox was created in the 1970s, right? It was designed to respond to the fact that Richard Nixon was held accountable. So Republicans wanted to create a media network where they could have no accountability. As the demographics changed, as America became more diverse, and as Republicans said, you know what, democracy is not going to preserve our privilege. We need to protect our privilege by eroding and destroying democracy. And one of the ways to do that is this collusive relationship between a propaganda network and the Republican Party, which gave up their support of democracy and has now just become, over the years, a full-fledged fascist party. So when President Biden looks great, when President Biden looks strong, how do MAGA Republicans respond? Well, they go on their echo chamber media and they start spreading weird conspiracies. They start, the outrage machine is all ginned up, and just show you the type of things that that they've been talking about. So here's one of them in the past 24 hours or so. You've got Charlie Kirk, one of the major purveyors of disinformation, a radical MAGA extremist. And he goes on Fox and their whole new thing. It's always a conspiracy theory, right? And so how are they trying to scare their base? How are they, by the way, the base who we now have the court filings, which show the actual text messages and emails and under oath deposition transcripts of the hosts of Fox and the top executives, including Rupert Murdoch, where they call their supporters, where they call the people who watch their show effing lunatics and morons and idiots, and how they need to feed election disinformation to these individuals in order to preserve their ratings. And this is what Charlie Kirk is saying. His conspiracy that he's spreading is that ChatGPT, that artificial intelligence in general is woke, and that it is a leftist, communist, Marxist, whatever. They're saying meant to control people, and that artificial AI and the developments of AI is woke. Play this clip.
The Google VP of Government Affairs. So again, what is artificial intelligence if not an extended arm of socialism worldwide?
That's right. This is going to become a woke superweapon. And I encourage your audience to take some time and play with ChatGPT, which should really be called ChatDNC, which is nothing more now than going to be an instrument of trying to make the left's takeover of the West more efficient. Go play with it. For example, say, hey, can you write an essay about Jordan Peterson or something of the like? It will say, sorry, I cannot do that.
Yeah, we're doing this
my
next
parameters
segment.
Won't
we're
allow
doing
this.
some of this next segment because it is stunning when you actually start digging into it. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
And that's the thing with the outrage machine. They're trying to find their latest conspiracy. How do you keep their base in fear and scared? Just lie. And then Fox platforms that. Fox promotes that. It's not news. It's just sheer, despicable, treasonous propaganda. And we've gone through the routine, right? Mr. Potato Head and the green M&M that they talk about, and the purple M&M they talk about, and Dr. Seuss, and that these Disney characters are woke, and this is going woke. And here's the latest one. I'm not sure if you saw this. So Legos, in celebration of Black History Month, put out this video. I'll show you in a second that talks about Black creators. I'll play this video now. Okay, so why am I showing you that video, right? Nothing controversial there. Looks incredible. Well, Fox then did a whole special. Here it is right here. Woke Legos. And of course, woke is coded. Legos have gone woke, everybody. Woke Legos. That's what I said. The woke Potato Head and Dr. Seuss and all of these things. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Because they have no ideas. And what they're actually doing is, if they can keep their base scared and in fear, well, then their base, hopefully for them, this is what their view is, won't realize that they're getting screwed. That they're getting screwed. They're so in fear about pronouns and bathrooms and genitals and all of these issues that are ginned up and manufactured by the outrage machine, that they're not angry that they're getting a minimum wage and that they have to work multiple jobs and that billionaires are getting bailouts because of MAGA Republican policies and workers are not being supported. Their working conditions are atrocious, and Democrats are fighting to improve the working conditions. Democrats are fighting to improve people's salaries, to increase the salary. Democrats don't just support a living wage. Democrats support a wage with dignity. We don't think you should have multiple jobs. And it's incredible that you're a hard worker and that you support yourself and your family the way you do, but you should be able to have a stable job that pays you what you deserve and that you're treated with dignity in your job and that working conditions are great. That's a bare minimum. And then Democrats are fighting to make sure that healthcare is accessible and affordable to all, that prescription drug prices decrease, that important and critical drugs like insulin are made available very, very, very cheaply to people, and not these inflated prices by the large pharmaceutical companies. Democrats are fighting to protect veterans. Actually implementing infrastructure plans. There's 7,000 infrastructure projects right now because of the infrastructure plan that was passed by Biden. There's going to be 20,000 infrastructure projects over the next several months because of Biden's infrastructure plan. And what does that ultimately mean? It means jobs, jobs, and jobs. You got the CHIPS Act investing $40+ billion into the semiconductor industry. What does that mean? High-paying jobs here in the United States of America. These are just real tangible action items. These are real tangible solutions. Democrats are fighting for women to have control over their body, for people to marry who they love, for all human beings to be treated with decency and compassion and equality. We're in this together. And MAGA Republicans are talking about the woke Legos and spreading conspiracies about ChatGPT or whatever, and artificial intelligence is coming for you and it's wokeified. And then, of course, you've got Fox platforming this heinous and despicable idea by Marjorie Taylor Greene that she keeps on saying over and over and over again, calling for secession, calling for a national divorce. You take an oath to preserve and protect and defend the United States Constitution. Calling for secession is treasonous. It's traitorous, right? Don't you remember the days where a vice president who misspelled potato, that could harm their reputation forever? Or somebody went out windsurfing and looked funny and looked like they were out of touch with the people. That was problematic. The depths of depravity now are such that the Republican Party's just out there posting about QAnon death cult conspiracies every day. They're openly calling for secession, and they have this platform on Fox to do it. And it's completely deranged. Here, play this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. Play this clip.
And do you expect it'll happen? Last question.
Well, I think it's something that we should work towards because, you know, it's kind of the vision that our founding fathers had for America. And I think it's a great one. It worked in the beginning. We just got it completely out of control. So I hope we can get there.
All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene, thanks for explaining it all to us. We appreciate it. As always, when we come back, Liam Neeson, the actor, was less than impressed with the ladies of The View after his appearance. We'll show you, we'll explain straight ahead.
You know, as I show you those images of what's going on there on Fox, though, it really is no different than the Russian propaganda channels. I'm not going to play these for more than 10 seconds or so, but I just want to show you like what the similarities are here and what is trying to be created by MAGA Republicans and why it's so important, why it's existential that we build this pro-democracy community. This is Russian propaganda television. So you just saw Fox. Now this is Russian propaganda television led by Chief Olga Skabeva commenting on Biden's visit to Ukraine, spreading the exact same propaganda as Hannity and Tucker Carlson. And so let me just translate for you what you're about to hear. The individual says, quote, "We gave Biden security guarantees for a visit to Kyiv, although we could have threatened him." Again, obviously spreading Putin propaganda because they're a Putin propaganda network, but it's no different than what they're saying on Fox. Here, so play this clip first.
Отправляют на Украину. Поэтому американцы, видимо, полагают, что мы не планируем никому ни на что отвечать, коль скоро аж своего Байдена отправляют на Украину.
Я думаю, что нет. Я думаю, что...
Или кто-то дал гарантии безопасности?
Я думаю, дали гарантии. Я в этом абсолютно.
А мы дали?
Мы дали, конечно.
А зачем?
Ну, вы понимаете, можно, конечно, было угрохать Байдена, но это было бы уж совсем, наверное...
Ну, то есть угрохать Байдена это совсем угрожать, но это нормально, взрывать Северный поток тоже годится.
Ольга, вы понимаете, все дело в том,
Я не про агрессию со своей стороны, я про логику. В чем она?
Okay, and here's another clip, and like, again, These Russian propaganda shows are incredibly odd, but they look like Fox. Like, here's an ad for a TV program. It might as well be Tucker Carlson or Laura Ingraham that aired on Russia TV. Play this clip.
По многочисленным просьбам телезрителей, новые расчеты и пророчества афганского посланника в Англии.
Весь мир посмотрит.
Когда наступит победа в спецоперации? Какие новые угрозы тайно готовят для России лидеры Запада?
Все боятся, я не боюсь.
Когда англосаксы ликвидируют Зеленского?
Я хочу этот человек сказать, что тебя будет плохо.
И какое событие потрясет всех 17 июля? Вечер сенсационных пророчеств в воскресенье, ровно 18:00 на НТВ.
Okay, now compare that. This is a clip of Sean Hannity. And this is Hannity a day or so after Biden's visit to Kyiv. Just look at Hannity. He's orange. He took on the orange characteristics of the cult leader. Here, play this clip of Hannity.
Ukraine. Big deal made in the media about Joe Biden going over to Kyiv, meeting President Zelensky. Okay. The United States of America has already contributed $133 billion.
Okay, and then you have Donald Trump in a very kind of Putin-esque fashion taking this trip to Ohio. It's the arsonist who also destroyed the fire department, saying, well, now that we destroyed your city and now that we destroyed the fire department, here comes the arsonist. I'm the only person who can fix it. Like, let's not forget when Donald Trump posted, for example, back on August 3rd, 2017, and actually implemented policies. He wrote, quote, "I'm continuing to get rid of costly and unnecessary regulations. Much work left to do, but effect will be great. Business and jobs will grow." And for example, here's an article from September 24th of 2018. Trump rolls back train braking rule meant to keep oil tankers from exploding near communities. Article from Fortune, September 24th of 2018. Yes, the Trump administration eliminated the Obama administration's regulations on train braking systems because the corporations believed it was too expensive and they lobbied Trump to remove the regulations. And Trump spent his entire presidency rolling back rail safety regulations, and specifically as it relates to trains carrying hazardous chemicals. And as you just saw, he actually bragged about it. You want to talk about Ohio, you want to talk about East Palestine for a second. Ohio has a GOP governor, a GOP Senate, a GOP House. The train derailed in a GOP county. The train CEO is a GOP donor. The GOP governor burned the chemicals, causing the disaster. The GOP governor initially refused to declare the disaster. And as you saw, a former Republican president and administration rolled back the safety rules, which allowed this to happen. Look, here is a video of Ohio Governor Mike DeWine saying that immediately when the train derailed, Biden called me right away saying, "What can I do? What can I do?" And DeWine said, "I have not called him back." Here, play this video of DeWine.
Look, the president called me and said, "Anything you need." I have not called him back after that conversation. I will not hesitate to do that if we're seeing a problem or anything, but I'm not seeing it.
But yes, the MAGA Republicans will say it's Pete Buttigieg's fault. It's the Democrats' fault. They're the ones to blame. But you see how this all works together? Because when you create this outrage machine, when you talk about the Legos and artificial intelligence and the M&Ms and all of this, you are flooding the zone with so much fear and anxiety. It's intentional. It is a mechanism just to keep people in a constant state of confusion, in the darkness and fear, so that they're distracted from all of this other information, all the accurate information that I've just talked about. It's hard when you're just getting all this fake info right away and fear. And then you slip in the lie. And then you support this propaganda effort where then Donald Trump, after being the arsonist, shows up in Ohio and gives an incredibly bizarre speech there, bragging about bringing Trump water. I brought Trump water bottles. I brought my Trump water here, which is better than the less quality waters. First off, Trump water hasn't existed since 2010. It's another bankrupt company of Donald Trump. Every one of his companies is bankrupt. All this grifting, treasonous traitor has done his entire life is just lie to people and bankrupt every single thing he touches. But this is Trump's talking about the Trump water. Here, play this clip.
Especially thank some of the incredible people that helped us, because we're bringing thousands of bottles of water, Trump water, actually, most of it. Some of it we had to go to a much lesser quality water. You want to get those Trump bottles, I think, more than anybody else. But we're bringing a lot of water, thousands of bottles.
And then cue in the propaganda network. Here is Tucker saying, whatever you think of Donald Trump, when he's unleashed in a crowd of people, he's unbelievable. Here, play this clip.
Whatever you think of Donald Trump, when he's unleashed in a crowd of people, he's pretty unbelievable. If you haven't seen the tape of him ordering at McDonald's in East Palestine, treat yourself. He wows everyone in the room. Again, you don't have to love Trump to know he's really good at this, and it's real. I mean, he feels it. That's why he's so good at it. So he's a huge threat. But in a normal country, in a democracy, you would let voters decide whether they want him to run the country again. But no, partisan prosecutors at all levels, state and federal, are trying to prevent him from running for president again.
And here's Trump. Here's Tucker talking about Trump again and blaming Pete Buttigieg. Play this clip.
Pete Buttigieg has not shown up. Donald Trump has, by the way. He went today. He's not able to fix the problem. It's not like he's the Secretary of Transportation. But Trump did bring pallets of bottled water and then bought the entire fire department dinner at McDonald's. Whatever you think of Trump, at least he cared enough to go there. That's something.
And now we know from the court filing by Dominion in their $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox. Here's what Tucker was saying in his messages. He said, quote, "We are not going to follow them. What Trump is good at is destroying things. He's the undisputed world champion of that. He could easily destroy us if we play this wrong." Playing this wrong means telling people the truth, as you see in the other messages. And Tucker said, look, we just need to lie. We need to inject election disinformation in the veins of our people. Otherwise, our ratings are going to be hurt. So we need to lie to our people. And what does this mean for our country? When you have a very powerful media network and a major political party that has no bottom, where the outrage machine has reached depths of depravity with no floor. It just continues to sink and sink because for Fox's survival, for the Republican Party's survival, they've made the calculation that rather than be leaders, rather than do the hard work and tell the truth and actually work for the people, actually do the things that have made the American experiment so incredible. But it's hard. Democracy is hard. Our system of checks and balances is hard. That's why it's unprecedented in our history for a system like ours to exist. That's what's always made America so special and so precious and an example for freedom in the world. That's one of the values that America exports: freedom, true freedom. But there's a reason why for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years more, why societies generally would rally around strong men, a strong man, and have authoritarian regimes where fear, where disinformation, where chaos would be used as a tool for control. That's what we're seeing right now in America. So what is the solution? The solution is this. The solution is you. You are the solution here. The growth of pro-democracy communities, the growth of pro-democracy networks. Look, I am so humbled to be a messenger on this network and to speak with you each and every day in these fireside chats and have these conversations. But you're the secret ingredient. When you share these videos, when you share them with family members, friends, coworkers, colleagues, when you post these videos on your Facebook and other social media where people who may have divergent views because they've been pulled into echo chambers see this, they go, wow, this pro-democracy community out there, they love America. We do. I love this country. I love our flag. I love our troops. I love our Constitution. I know you do too. I think that we all agree that things can get better. There are things that absolutely need work. There are reforms that are needed. And we need to make our society better. We need to progress as a society and make sure that mistakes of the past, and using that term in some regards is definitely doing a lot of work there, so calling it mistakes, but improving and perfecting our union, not calling for secession, not calling for division, not manufacturing hate, focusing on actually helping Americans. And it starts with you. It's this platform, but this is a platform that you've created. So as I see the Midas Touch Network on YouTube getting more views than Fox on digital, more views than the both sides large media networks, I have hope. I have such great hope. And my hope is with you. And so I want you to know from the bottom of my heart your power. Because you and the community that you've helped build is going to be a game changer in our democracy. And I'm so grateful for you. But we got to see it. We got to call it out. We got to improve it. And we got to make sure that the exhausted majority is not exhausted anymore. This is an existential situation. But I am confident that together we will rise to this challenge. I'm Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So hit subscribe now and check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. You will love the exclusive content we have at Patreon, but most importantly, it helps grow this independent media platform. So check it out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and it's free to subscribe. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers here on the Midas Touch Network. So help us reach 1 million in March. I'm Ben Meiselas. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Now hit subscribe.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.